Now at 6, increasing football security, the effort to keep fans safe in Walker County. Then the First Lady visits Alabama's capital, why she was there, and the message she's hoping to push. And later, workers on strike, a fifth of Boeing's workforce, is looking for pay raises, how it's impacting the aircraft maker, and how it could impact the U.S. economy.
Live, streaming, and on the ABC 3340 app. This is ABC 3340 News Weekend.
Well, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us on this streaming show. The rain is here to stay this game day. Celebrations, no doubt, in Tuscaloosa tonight as the Tide win on the road as Auburn prepares for kickoff. Meteorologist Riley Blackwell joins us now. Riley, how much rain are we in store for tonight?
Fortunately, I don't think we should be expecting as much as we have seen over the past couple of days, but the National Weather Service still put out a flash flood watch. This will be in effect until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, as any showers that could develop will be prolific rainmakers. And we'll take a look at the rain we've seen over the past 24 hours in just a little bit. But the remnants of Francine still spinning off to our north and west. That has prompted a good bit of showers in the northeastern portions and northern portions of the state. And actually down in Barber County near Eufaula saw a significant amount of rainfalls and some damage from the flooding they had as well. But with the clouds, with the rain, temperatures have been way down. We're at 74 currently Birmingham, 73 Pell City, 70 Oneonta, 70 up in Coleman. Temperatures, though, not falling too much from where we're at right now, likely middle to upper 60s with a chance for a few passing showers. And we're likely expecting rain over or for our Sunday. When can we expect sunshine to return? We'll take a look at that and the full 7-day all coming up.
And we're continuing to see damage from this week's round of weather from Francine. This was the scene earlier today on Memory Lane in Mountain Brook. The road was blocked due to downed trees and power lines. The road was blocked between Montclair Road and Country Club Road, but it has since cleared. And downed trees also blocked some roads in Talladega County. Volunteer crews from Lake Fire removed these trees off of Russell Chapel Road and McGowan's Ferry Road. Both roadways are now back open. And we're also getting new pictures and videos from social media. Overnight, the New Mexico Lobos experienced travel troubles while heading to the plains due to the bad weather. The team says they had to land in Mobile and then bust through Montgomery overnight. The game is at 6:30 at Jordan Hare. And take a look at this video sent to Chief Meteorologist James Spann. This pup is having a great time jumping around in the floodwaters after an hour of nonstop rain in Bibb County. Well, the weather was certainly on the Crimson Tide's side this morning out in Wisconsin. The Tide beat the Badgers 42-10 at the team's first road test of the season. These were videos and pictures we got from fans of the game through Chime In. And despite the Tide's long haul, many Alabama fans were spotted in the Badger State today. We want to know how you celebrate game day. Scan the QR code right here on your screen to upload your school spirit photos and videos. They may even be featured in our next newscast. A 10-year-old in North Alabama is now in custody after making a terrorist threat. Athens police say the 10-year-old was arrested at his home on Friday. Police say the student made threats to students at Athens Middle School over text. Athens City Schools says several threats have been posted to social media just this week. And in Tuscaloosa, a 13-year-old student has been charged with a felony in connection to a social media post. Tuscaloosa police say the post threatened violence against Eastwood Middle School students. The post was widely shared on Facebook. The student was questioned this morning. She is now charged with making a terroristic threat. More schools threat scares in Shelby County on Friday. Both Calera and Alabaster police took to social media to address threats they believe to be a hoax. But even so, Alabaster police still increased security measures at all Alabaster City schools throughout the day on Friday. Alabaster Police Detective Andrew Rowan says this has not put a strain on their police force. However, Helena police have previously told us that it's costed them an additional 20 man-hours to respond to false threats. The added police presence didn't stop Alabaster parents from checking out students in droves Friday afternoon.
You know, I got the alert, and it's just with everything going on this day and age, it's better to be safe than sorry. You know, it's scary.
Alabaster police made an arrest on Warrior Parkway. but it was not related to the school threat in any way. Weapon detection devices were used at all Walker County school football games on Friday night. ABC 3340's Austin Pratt spoke with the Walker County School Superintendent about this increase in security.
We hate that it's come to this point in society, but we are here right now, and we do feel that this is best for our students.
Everyone attending a Walker County Schools football home game Friday night, as well as select home games throughout the season, will have to walk through one of these metal detectors, the same ones the schools use regularly, placed at every entrance to the stadiums.
Normally we don't have to do this, but Dr. Willingham, the principals, everybody, this is family. So they're doing everything they can to make it safe.
Walker County School Superintendent Dr. Dennis Willingham says he made the decision due to recent stress in the district.
In the last week and a half, we've been chasing down potential threats, some inappropriate posts that have been made to social media that we feel were possible threats to our school communities.
Those threads led to the security increase, including metal detectors and gun detecting dogs ran by the Walker County Sheriff's Department and local police. Fans I spoke with say they didn't mind taking a few extra seconds to walk through a metal detector if it keeps everyone safe.
I support whatever they do to keep us safe. And the children, the band members, everybody that comes to these games, the visitors too.
Austin Pratt reporting. Dr. Willingham tells us these security changes will be in place for select games throughout the season. Today, new details in Alabama's second scheduled execution by nitrogen gas. Alan Miller is set to be executed on the 26th. Miller was found guilty for killing 3 former co-workers in Pelham back in 1999. Attorneys representing another Alabama inmate filed a request to film the execution in an attempt to help courts decide whether the new method is humane. The state of Alabama asked a judge to reject the request on Friday. Kenneth Smith was the first Alabama inmate to be executed by nitrogen gas back in January. Voting rights groups are suing Secretary of State Wes Allen and Attorney General Steve Marshall over a new voting rights policy. The lawsuit claims the policy intended to remove non-citizens from Alabama's voter rolls undermines the right to vote. Allen started the process of removing 3,200 people from the state's voter rolls last month because they previously were issued non-citizen identification numbers. The plaintiffs have asked a federal court in Alabama to issue an injunction against this policy.
We are working every day so that you never have to choose between your love of country and your love of family. Now, that's more than a goal. It's more than a promise. It is our sacred duty.
First Lady Dr. Jill Biden and Department of Defense Secretary Lord Austin made a stop in Alabama's capital on Friday morning. The two visited Maxwell Air Force Base as part of Dr. Biden's Joining Forces initiative. The trip was aimed to highlight the new universal pre-kindergarten program being implemented at Department of Defense education activity schools.
Providing universal pre-K is among the defining issues of our time. And what's happening at Maxwell is part of the blueprint for making high-quality preschool available to every 3- and 4-year-old in America.
And during their tour, Dr. Biden and Austin toured classrooms and met with teachers at the elementary and middle school. Alabama Senator Katie Britt met with Birmingham City Councilors and Mayor Randall Woodfin on Friday. In a post to X, Britt says she is grateful to sit down with them and discuss opportunities facing Birmingham. Senator Britt also sat down with the former Tide head coach Nick Saban and athletic director Greg Bird to discuss the sustainability of college sports. Aaliyah is investigating a crash in Jefferson County on the I20 on-ramp near Leeds. The eastbound lanes were closed earlier this afternoon for a couple of hours, and you can see crews responding to the scene involving an 18-wheeler. Those lanes are now back open. A fifth of Boeing's workforce is still on strike, and yet another setback for the aircraft maker. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest.
33,000 Boeing workers now on strike after soundly rejecting management's contract offer. Some 96% of union members voting in favor of the strike.
This is a movement of people who are willing to go on strike, put their livelihoods on the line, and to get what's fair. That's all we want, is a fair deal.
The proposed contract included a 25% pay raise over 4 years, far less than the 40% the union wanted. Workers also demanding a return to pension plans.
I felt the energy and the vibe of how the first offer came out, and it was terrible. And I just knew that my brothers and sisters and myself were not happy with that first deal.
We're standing together against corporate greed, but most importantly for a living wage.
This is the first strike at Boeing since 2008 and comes amid a turbulent few years for the company. 2 fatal 737 MAX crashes, a door plug falling off a passenger jet mid-flight, and a troubled Starliner spacecraft that left 2 astronauts stranded at the International Space Station. The company now bracing for economic impact of the strike with the production of its popular 737 MAX jet and its 777s grinding to a halt. Boeing said it could lose an estimated $108 million per day.
The strike could potentially impact 1.5 million people who work at other companies that supply parts and services to Boeing.
Late Friday, the Federal Mediation and Conciliation Service, an independent federal agency created by Congress to resolve conflicts between employers and unions, announcing the two sides will resume talks next week with the help of a federal mediator. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Walgreens has agreed to pay more than $100 million over allegations that it submitted false payment claims for prescriptions. The settlement resolves lawsuits filed in New Mexico, Texas, and Florida on behalf of people who worked in Walgreens pharmacies. The pharmacy chain is accused of submitting these claims to Medicare and Medicaid and then other health care programs between 2009 and 2020. Settlement documents say Walgreens cooperated with this investigation. Police are still investigating a shooting in Birmingham that left 1 man dead. Police say it happened around noon on Friday in the Collegeville housing community on 32nd Avenue North. A man was found with gunshot wounds and died while being taken to the hospital. So far, police believe the shooting was unprovoked. Monarch Ridge Apartments is working with Birmingham City Police to better secure the property following the shooting death of a woman in August. It's part of a court order. And the complex will maintain vehicle license plate technologies and a surveillance system. Those cameras must be connected to Birmingham's real-time crime center. Off-duty Jefferson County deputies will be used for patrols, and guards must be stationed at the entrance of the property. Some of these requirements are similar to ones outlined in a settlement between the complex and the city back in 2021, stemming from several shooting incidents at that time. However, Birmingham police told us some requirements were never met. One person was treated for smoke inhalation after a stove fire in Midfield. It happened on Creel Street. Midfield Fire and Rescue says crews arrived to find smoke coming out of the house. The house was ventilated and the victim is expected to be okay. This morning, a crash in Chilton County claimed the life of a Billingsley man. 20-year-old Pablo Garcia was killed when his pickup truck left the road and hit a tree. It happened on Chilton County Road 5, 1 mile away from Jemison. Garcia was ejected from his truck and pronounced dead at the scene. Aaliyah is still investigating.
And just a reminder, we still have that flash flood watch in effect almost statewide. This will run until 7 a.m. tomorrow, as we still could see a couple of prolific rain-making showers develop over the next several hours. But the heaviest of the rain right now starting to move off to the north, circling around the remnants of now former Francine. Although we could see a couple of showers tomorrow, we do have some good news in terms of finally getting rid of some rain chances and seeing sunshine by later on in the week. But first, before we get to that, let's look over the past 24 hours. Over 2.5 inches of rain officially fell in Birmingham, almost 4 inches of rain in Jasper, almost 4.5 inches of rain fell up in Coleman. Now you see some places show 0 inches of rain. That's likely because it didn't fall directly on the recording site, but we still had some very good rain amounts over the past several days. But here's what we can expect for the rest of the night and into tomorrow. So still the remnants of Francine slowly but surely coming down to the south and a little bit to the southeast. Likely going to start off the day tomorrow with some showers, maybe some rumbles of thunder, very similar to what we should be expecting tomorrow afternoon as well. I don't think the rain's going to be quite as widespread for tomorrow afternoon, but still the chance of rain will still be there. But you notice off the coast of Georgia and the Carolinas, we have this low pressure system. Currently, it has a 50% chance of some sort of tropical development over the next 7 days, but it could be very beneficial in helping us brings back some drier and cooler air over the next several days as well. Very good news. So we are expecting the rain for tomorrow. Not very heavy rain, especially in the afternoon. Not very widespread rain, but the East Coast low is going to start working its way up, and mainly in the Midland or really the eastern seaboard, I should say. That's going to help move drier air in from the north. Humidity levels are going to start to go down, as well as rain chances are going to start to go down. And that will also allow our temperatures to get a little bit closer to average. We're not expecting that oppressive summer heat anytime soon, but still temperatures and afternoons in general will start to feel a lot better by the middle and end of the week as that low pressure moves off to our north and we start to get more of a drier, cooler air mass coming down from the Appalachian Mountains. But over the next several days, we're not expecting that much rain total. Now, this should say over the next 7 days, but also it matches up with the next 2 days as well. So rain chances really going to start going down once we get past tomorrow morning, midday, and afternoon. But overnight tonight, middle to upper 60s with showers, maybe a rumble of thunder for some, and it's still expected to be quite humid. But once that drier air filters in by the middle of the week, temperatures hovering right about average, overnight lows in the low to middle 60s, and afternoons will be dry and comfortable.
And to keep up with all this weather, you can scan the QR code right here on your screen to get access to the ABC 3340 weather app. The app gives you access to live radar, James's weather blog, and the 7-day forecast. Today, the McWane Science Center is honoring Alabama's real-life superheroes. The center hosted its first ever Community Heroes Day. The event gave children, students, and their families the chance to meet and learn from local first responders and even explore the tools and the vehicles they use to keep people safe. We spoke with volunteers who say the event is all about sparking interest in the sciences.
All of our exhibits, all of our programs, all of our staff are here just to kind of show people that STEM is in everything we do, it's in every aspect of our life, and we're just trying to connect those dots.
The event was held in partnership with the Birmingham Police and Birmingham Fire and Rescue, and first responders and their families got to attend the event for free as a token of appreciation. The city of Coleman held an electric vehicle showcase this morning. Several electric vehicles were on display, including an all-electric new Chevy Silverado and a Tesla Cybertruck. The event is held every year by the Coleman Electric Cooperative. The event even featured a tailgating setup with ESPN's College Game Day. All right, pretty cool. And it was a great day in the city of Trussville today. The city and the local Chamber of Commerce put together the 47th annual Dog Days at the Trussville Mall. The event featured vendor booths, a foam pit, and a live band of local college students. Residents still turned out despite the weather. The Chamber calls it a staple for the community.
It's rained a lot. It's rained buckets, but we've had a great turnout, and despite the rain, we've turned it into a patio party. We have a great band, and there's dancing, and there's great food, and so really for this, the weather not cooperating, we've really had a great time.
A portion of today's sales went to the Trussville Chamber's Scholarship Fund, which helps support local students and other school initiatives. And we have just one more thing before we go. Despite the afternoon showers and storms, volunteers in Talladega County worked together for a good cause. Volunteers with United Way of North Talladega County braved the rain to build beds for local children in need. 120 volunteers stopped by to build the beds. United Way says 77 beds were made today. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight's news at 6. Stay with ABC 3340 throughout the day on TV for college football coverage. Sports Director Jess Spiegel, Jamie Hale, and Johnny Condon will be back for the EOG Wrap at 10. Have a great night, everyone.